Most photographers will come home from a photo shoot, they'll upload their images into Lightroom and just start pushing sliders. Add some exposure, some contrast, some saturation, fix the temperature. But before I ever touch a single slider, I can tell you exactly where my photo is going in about 10 seconds. And it's not because I'm thinking about Lightroom. I'm thinking about two questions. And once you start asking these questions too, your editing process becomes dramatically easier because you're no longer guessing. You know exactly where you're going. See, I think one of the biggest reasons why photographers struggle to color grade isn't because they don't understand Lightroom. It's because they don't actually know what they're trying to create. And you might be saying, well, yeah, duh. But there really is a system to get a raw photo to a stunning destination really quickly. So before I ever start editing a photo, I'm asking these two simple questions. The first question is, what should this image feel like? What most photographers miss is that every great color grade starts with emotion. Before I ever think about color grading, I'm always thinking about the feeling. Do I want this image to be light and playful? Do I want it to be peaceful, luxurious, moody, warm, or cold? Because emotion really is that compass that guides every single decision that comes afterwards. And if you never decide how you want somebody to feel, you're gonna constantly second guess your editing because you'll have no direction behind it. The second question is, what color palette does this scene naturally support? Once I know the emotion that I'm chasing, I stop looking at Lightroom and I just look at the image. I'm asking things like, what colors already exist? What color can direct attention to my subject? What colors naturally work with what's already there? And this is where most photographers get stuck though. They try to force colors into their scene that don't really belong there. Instead, I'm building a color palette around the colors that the scene is already giving me. Whether that's giving me the opportunity to maybe create a complementary, split complementary, or maybe even an analogous. And that's really why in all my videos, I stress this concept of choosing one dominant color because it anchors your photo. It gives you that starting point instead of making all these random color decisions. And that is all about pointing attention to your subject, which creating a color palette around that dominant color helps you do flawlessly. I want to give you an example of what this looks like in real time though. So let's jump into Lightroom. Just real quick before we keep going, if you're someone who opens up Lightroom after a shoot that you're really proud of and still can't consistently produce the edits that you had in your head, that's not actually a skill issue. That is a system issue. And that's costing you the clients, the rates, and the reputation that you've already earned behind the camera. The cinematic blueprint is literally the exact system that I personally use on every single edit that I create. Its four-phase system is repeatable on any image, shot in any environment, on demand. If you want more information on that, check out the description below. All right, let's get back to it. So we're gonna look at this photo here, and I thought this would be a great example because we don't have a lot of color going on within our subject other than maybe these skin tones and even I guess like a little bit of these oranges. But as for the rest, like we've got messy colors in the background, like a lot of this graffiti, and we have a blown out sky. And so it's wondering like, okay, what are we gonna do with this? And so from where we're starting, this is the raw photo. And then this is just with creating light and using some masks here just to draw attention. So brightening up the top of the scene, darkening the bottom. And so we have nothing else going on in terms of color, but I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to shape our photo based off of these two questions specifically. So first, when I ask the question, what do I want this image to feel like? I'm immediately going into thinking about looking at the scene and what the scene's giving me. So for this, obviously my sky is pretty well blown out. Like if I were to go in here and I were to lower the exposure, like this is just to get an idea of what the information looks like in our photo, because technically we could bring back a lot of the sky and then we could just lift a bunch of our blacks just to get more detail in those shadows. But when I look at the overall sky here, I'm not really liking what I'm getting because I've got all these streaky clouds through the sky. I don't really have great exposure on the sun and it's all just not looking that great. And so that's why when I say like when we look at a raw photo before I ever get into the editing process of even adjusting lighting, I'm thinking, okay, what is this image giving me already? And so from this process, I'm thinking I want this to look kind of bright and airy, but I want it to look super contrasty and moody at the same time. And so what I can do is really pop those highlights, bring down those shadows, and then I can start to introduce a color grade. So whatever is going to fit with this photo in terms of giving me that moody look, that is exactly what I'm going to push into this photo. So from where we stand right here, we've got really bright highlights. We've got really nice contrasted shadows. I think they are slightly lifted here. Yeah, just slightly within the tone curve. And so we're getting a little bit of that faded look here within the blacks. And so from this point, now we need to go into creating and shaping our image based off of this feeling that we're trying to get. Now, like I said, we want to choose a dominant color that points attention to our subject. And like I said, we don't have a lot of color going on with our subject. And this is one of the things a lot of people get nervous about is thinking, okay, well, I don't really have a super heavy dominant color. What am I going to do? So first, you're really looking at any color that does direct attention. And so for me, I'm thinking about these skin tones. But let's say, for example, we didn't really have skin tones. So the second way that we can draw attention to our subject, if you're working with maybe something that's black or maybe something that's white, is by actually adding light to the subject themselves. So the eye is most attracted to the brightest and most saturated parts of a photo. And so what we want to do is we want to lower the luminance on everything in the background that would draw our attention, but we want to increase the luminance and the saturation on the subject where it's possible. And so if there's no saturation, then what we want to do is obviously just increase the luminance and then lower the luminance and the saturation on colors in the background because we don't want those to pull attention. So when we think about that, I'm thinking, okay, I want to choose the skin tone as my dominant color. So I'm going to go to a color wheel here. So my skin tone is sitting somewhere up in here. But if we wanted to create more of like that dramatic photo, maybe like have like a bit of a green undertone into the shadows, I need to be thinking, I don't really like this skin tone. Like this skin tone looks kind of nasty to me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to drag that down more towards like that orangey red tone. So that's what I'm going to start doing here. I'm going to grab these reds. I'm going to grab these oranges, pull those down towards that red, grab the yellows because that's affecting as well. And we're kind of grouping that tone to make sure that all of our skin tone looks the same. And so now it's like, okay, these skin tones are looking a lot better. They maybe look a little bit red for my liking. So I'm just going to bring them up a little bit. Perfect. So I feel like that's a good tone here. Now I'm looking at the rest of the scene and thinking, okay, these colors look messy and they don't complement the scene that I want, which is something very like contrasty and moody, but then like a bit of this green undertone in the shadows, that's not going to help me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to desaturate and lower the luminance in the parts of the photo that I don't want attention there. So I'm going to take these greens, lower the saturation. Now I'm going to lower the luminance just to draw less attention. Now we don't want to go too much because obviously you're like, okay, that does not look realistic. So we're going to lower to about this point right here. I'm going to take these greens, push them more toward that yellow, just to kind of blend with these skin tones as a whole. I'm going to take these yellows, lower a little bit of luminance there, just so that we're not getting too much attention there. And take some of these purples. Let's lower the luminance on those. Perfect. Now we're not getting as much attention there as what we had before. Just look at the background here. I'm going to turn the eye off, turn the eye on. That's helping a lot more to draw less attention to those areas. And so you can see the colors are still there, but just not as strong. And so this is a great way to draw more attention to your subject themselves. And so now I'm going to be thinking about creating around a complementary color palette. And so for these tones, the reason why I push them red more down in here is because what's opposite of red on the color spectrum, kind of like this greeny blue. And so that's what I want to push into the shadows. So I push my skin tones towards that red so then I could push those shadows into that green tone. So I am just going to go to the shadows and start pushing in that green tone there. Now look at how this balances. So we've got these skin tones. Maybe they're looking a little bit more towards like that orange now. So we're gonna have to go in and correct that a little bit. But now we can push in this really nice moody green tone here. And that complements well with the scene because we already set up our color palette around this dominant color. And so from this point, what I'm gonna do is turn the eye off and on. You can see just how much that's fading into the scene. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit just because I feel like that's kind of distracting in a little bit of a way. Now I'm going to go into the color mixer here and I'm just going to adjust those skin tones just to fit. So now they're looking a little bit yellow. And so I'm going to move those towards that red again, shift those yellows towards that red. Perfect. Now maybe bring up a little bit of saturation within those oranges, within those yellows. Perfect. And you can see that even these lines here on the pavement, that's playing in nicely to that green tone, that green undertone that we're getting. And so now maybe I want a little bit of warmth in those highlights. So I'm going to go back to the highlight wheel here And let's start pushing up a little bit of warmth into those highlights. Now we're going to go at 100% here. And the reason why is because we want to figure out where our color needs to sit. So I'm going to swing too far to the right. This looks too red. Too far to the left. That looks too green. Now we need to find a middle balancing point here. And so I'm just going to shift this over somewhere between the red and the green. Somewhere in here looks fine. And this clicks perfectly with that color, like with that green undertone and with the skin tones here. And so now I'm going to lower the saturation there just because we don't want to dominate and take over the photo, but we are getting like that really nice warm glow into the light here, which is perfect because we had that sunset. So turn the eye off and on. All right, so now we're going to go to the midtones, push in a similar hue just to get a little bit more of that dominant color tone here, pushing into the photo, complementing with that green. Actually, I don't know if I really want much to this. Maybe I'm going to decrease a little bit. Just go to about 5. Now we're going to push in a little bit more just because that tone is getting muted by the highlights and the midtones, that green undertone. Perfect. And so now when I turn the eye off and on, you can see that we're getting this really nice green undertone to the photo. Maybe just decrease it a little bit. Perfect. And so this is giving us our really nice color palette of like this red and green tone, and then actually almost into like this split complementary once we start pushing in those warm highlights into these yellows, because when we start pushing a color into that next section of the color spectrum, now we're getting a split complementary because it's this triangle, right? So now we're getting that split complementary. And so that's how I'll go through the process. I'll first identify how I want my image to feel. And then based off that feeling, that's going to affect the lighting. Then it's going to affect the dominant color that I choose and the color palette, just to form around that look and that feeling. And this photo could go 1,000 different ways. But once you know exactly where that photo should be directed based off of the feeling that you want to get in the end, then that is going to make your process so much faster and so much easier. All right, so if you found this video helpful and you want to find more videos on photo editing and color grading, then I think you'll really like this video here. So I'll see you over there. All right, peace.